Hello, good morning. So welcome back to our malware analysis. And so far, actually we go through those like basic analysis, including the static and the dynamic analysis. Okay, so maybe when you follow our previous lab, and also I told you try to install the theory and get all the tools, like all those like application we're going to use, maybe helpful, like to help us to do the analysis. Okay, and maybe right now after you follow some steps and then look at the some maybe the hashing, or like when we try to, and today before we move on, then as what I say in my previous level, I say, okay, let's try to slow down. And also before we move on to like really do something on advanced level. And if in the lecture we talk about like using the C language and look at the 32-bit Windows OS. So we try to look into those using the assembly language, how they really move, like um, maybe the moving from the register to the memory. So like this. Then when we are waiting, okay. So before we move on, just letting you know, reminding you, you have a new assignment. So the one I like, actually I go through a little bit, but for this time, I'm not like helping you like, okay, showing the guide, like step by step, how can you doing the like analytics or compare the hashing, but there are some questions like you need to compare and maybe use the application. How can you look? So this time I will show you, and just to make sure all of you have a very the main reason because you will barely see we use the dynamic analysis, like not so many steps, because I want to make sure of you already install the free VM and then remember to take the step. So once you really um, ready, okay, so ready to do the dynamic analysis, remember, so one of the steps is remember change your host like to like your network to host only. So you see, okay, you will turn off your network connection, so it will be fine. So if we need to access, so maybe take a snapshot before do it, and you can switch back. Okay, and let yourself connect to the internet. Okay, the internet when it's back. And also remember, every time, sometimes the Windows security, it turns on. So you can add the exception, also manage setting, turn off the real-time protection, which will be helpful. Okay, so in our exercise, but if you like look at your VM, and then, or if you check the like the shortcut, and then to install on your folder, okay, in your folder, or you go to your C location. So there's a two folders right here. So it's two right here. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. Okay, and utilities and something like that. Later the IMAC and something we're going to use. Okay. And this time, let's go back to like just slightly recap what we did before. Maybe start in the beginning. So we maintain the connection. So we try to upload the file to Virus Total. So this is one of the website we try to upload. And when we upload it to the Virus Total, we will check the like the MD5 sum or the SHA, the SHA 256. So we look at those hashing, right? And based on those hashing, we will compare if they exist, so they will refer to their library, or some people upload it, and they will compare, okay, if they search, there's a maybe MD5 or the SHA 256. Okay, if they match, then they know, okay, they will expect, and also the virus total will give you some feedback. Okay, and next, we of course will look at there some certain content we will output as a string. So if you remember, we have a string. Let me open the PowerShell. Yeah, of the storage. Let's see. And try to read one of the snapshot. Let's see if I can release my space. Okay, and if you remember, we're using the strings, right? So the strings is help us to, then you maybe ask a question, because why we need to use called string. Okay, to output, if you check our first go to our lab, or go to our lab and then start with like maybe our basic studies, and also including like handle first one, cal, and then we try to output and look at the MD5. And when we try to use the string to check those like malware file, of course, right now this one is for testing. We are not required to change it to a bit binary file. Okay. Continuous. Let me try to it later. Okay. Let's see. And because right now, if we have the file, and then because we try not to execute it and want to protect our system, so we start our static analysis. So we use the string. It's like we try to convert those binary executable, okay, files to a string file, and string is help us to read it. Okay, we can able to read it. So one of the functions the called string, and another one is called a flows. So you will see on one of the example, if you already install it and you already add the tooth, then maybe within the utility, then you should maybe you are able to see this called the flows. But right now I cannot open my PowerShell. Okay, slightly I have some issue right here, but I couldn't I cannot open it. So you can try to check yours. And so let's just say recall what we did using the string function. String, you see we will output like those binary to a meaningful, like not very meaningful, but you can see they try to change it to some character, so you are able to read. And mainly you maybe see there's some content. Okay, maybe content in your executables, and then they will show you like what the possible content that the R data, like the R text. So all those information, right? And in the string, there's one key things we are trying to search, or if we are able to find, sometimes including do they try to connect to the you call the connect to the Win API or the Win URL. So those will be the connection to like some API, or of course there's some service like application. Let's say if you maybe let's say if you are listening music, then you install Spotify on your Windows, right? Okay, so maybe they will have a connection with the API server, and then try to requesting the data. Okay, of course they will call those API, use the Windows API. But if for some malware, if they want to inject certain application, they also connect to it. So that's the purpose, like as a first step for us to do the static analysis. Like we are looking for output the binary to string and search for certain keywords, or like maybe one thing I will introduce. So you can save it's a mailapi.io. So this one, it contains like all the possible. Okay, if we output even later, another application I'm going to show you is called the PE Studio, and that one is the application we can check the file. So right here, okay. So here's the make sure if you install VRVM, so it's one of the application you are able to find under like PE and PE Studio. Okay, so pretty quick. So if you want to search it, go to the tool, so and then you can find PE. And PE, there's a called a PE Studio, and if you remember last time we have the maybe the PE viewer. So that's why I need to make sure of you able to install it. Maybe some of you still have some difficulty not yet able to do that, and I will give you some time to do exception. Let's see after I terminate. I think might have some slightly have some issue, but I wish I can show you the slightly demonstration. Okay, so after you open the PE Studio, and you can search a file, open the file, and it will show. Let's say I right now open the pack file and unpack. So you can of course you can always see they from virus total. It will show like what the matching, and then those will be like okay, they will have a match like the MD5, pretty similar. And also right here, if you remember, we try to we have different way, and also we have the SHA HA256, and all these will be like how can we match it, and they give all the score and the size, right? And sometimes we will look at they have some certain headers, the file headers, and let's see if there's some linkage. And one more thing, we are able to see if we using the called the PE viewer. So just one time I show like the structure of the PE viewer, and PE viewer will look at maybe the image size, and then but we need to have some concept. Like first we try to, you may follow the step, maybe you are slightly lost. I have no idea like what I'm doing, but of course as step one, install the tool you need, and then try to like load the files, and then you will see something. Okay, observation. Start with observation first, and then after observation, you're able to like find something. Then we need to ask the second question: what are we looking for? Okay, so if we are able to find something, let's say we have the import file, And import file, you will see we try to import for certain maybe we have certain service they're using. Maybe sometimes use a lot called the Wins API, or we have some other like kernel 32. Sometimes it doesn't, of course, for some normal application, even the one for the new assignment, you can do it by yourself. I will try to extend longer, so this one will be kind of like the evaluation, like how much you understand. So I will give you extra more time, and then what kind of information. So you maybe you see they will try to import and go in different type of API, and this one I would like to share to you. And let's see if you see something. Maybe we try to load this one thing you will see is called the load library A right here. Is one of the injection. So it actually this is a committee, and then lots of like developer they're working on. They will post like for the some weird function. So if you see the load library A, so actually you use this one is for the UPX. If you remember our analytic, so we use the UPS to check the like pack and unpack. So it's the one another idea, because like when we talk about like we have lots of important functions or use the API, right? So we are looking for, and also we will if like the strengths right here, we can see the sometimes we like work on the kernel 32. Maybe like if sometimes we will post something to the HTTPS, then here's like the string of what I say. And of course, like when we look at the size, maybe sometimes when we look at the called the wall size, and then their virtual size, if they're close enough, then of course, then they will be fine. Okay, then what's the next question we need to ask, like, or like why we're using the UPX? Because if you want to avoid or like certain binary file, they want to because when you see when we output the MD5 or SHA, they have a pattern, right? So if I don't want to let the antivirus software to detect, okay, no, I'm the malware application, then how can I like prevent it? Okay, of course, I can use the UPX. Like I can pack the file. Once you pack the file, let's say originally, the original file size, let's say it looks like this, right? But after you pack it, so they will like they will shrink, or like just thinking is idea is like it's a zipping it. Okay, so I only keeping the header, and also I make all the rest of the content. Like right here you see lots of import, right? I try to import lots of things, but you only see it's called the library, load library A. So when, and also they connect to the kernel 32. Okay, so when the antivirus, after you use the UPX, maybe the MT5, the SSH 256, it will be not the same. And also after you unpack it, like using UPX, because the import file size are getting less. So all this like reading, and then maybe you will see right here import, like they have got the load library A. So put the command right here. So after they pack it, then you never know what exactly using. Maybe they will connect you to the like the URL and some API. So this is the purpose why we need to doing this. Okay, and when we're doing the analysis, we are looking for all these some like keywords or like certain information. So when we find something like this, like load library A, then we know, okay, this potentially, okay. Of course, I would like to share the report later. So like if you find something, you maybe make a screenshot, highlight certain part, or like what do you find, then you will like help us to like to do a further analysis. Maybe sometimes we need to create the isolated environment, like take a snapshot, disconnect your Windows connection, and then try to execute it, open it. Okay, of course, in this stage, you see I'm not yet performed this part because I need to make sure, like, because I know some student, you're following the steps, and I would like to like make sure you're already. And here's one of the link. I would like to post it in the conversation. If you want to see, then they can check it. Okay. So I'm recommended, so you can like save it if you're looking for some certain content. If later maybe we'll look at, I would like you to open the code maybe called WannaCry in the later in the lab, and then make sure you already like already take the snapshot and have an isolated host, okay, network. And we're trying to check like if for the ransomware, then of course they will try to call certain function. Okay, so they calling maybe like hash data, gray hair. Okay, and for some others, of course, if you're interested like working on cybersecurity, if you want to contribute, also you can like contribute. Like if you find something, then if you find some like new API, or if we have some testing, then also you can upload to it. If they approve it, think okay, it makes sense, like it's really like this, then it will pops up. Okay, so you right here you will see loading, and of course like we have the local or okay exa, or sometimes we have another one is called the file writing file depth, and that one is like kind of the important key function we are looking. If possible, it appears it's possibly okay, this application will perform certain action. Okay, so that's what we're looking. And when we say in the string, so you will see some related or not related, because in the beginning for hex, so it will be binary file, so we have no meaning, and then you will see some like flat right here. So maybe they have we are looking for like WSA send or receive, maybe like if you see those like with the flat, when now using this auto, it was showing you okay, so what kind of value like they convert to from binary to string, then we are looking for certain library they're using, and maybe like if they are connect to some like GPS. Of course, some of them they are not really meaningful. Okay, we have some other function, and then we can pass like for the bit size. Then we are looking for certain size. Then will be okay, and then you will see lots of content. Keep going. Let's see if we have some maybe some protocol, maybe included permission right here. Okay. Ratio and get some. Sometimes if you they will try to maybe have some get overlap result like this. So all this they will convert because we're using strings like to find. Okay. Process, and there's something maybe just a because when you write a program, maybe you will see they're related to import the library calling. So some things like meaningless. Of course, some of them, yes. Maybe they'll like allocate an init or like assign SID, maybe. So it will affect. So in this stage, like for a static analysis, because not yet open it, but it just help us to like raise up certain content. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And then next we will check the color imports. So all these imports, we're looking for some okay potentially get one process, and then you can compare. Okay, so do we have any application right here? So if they match, then we can find. Okay, so because like most of them, because right now we're working on the Windows system. So for the Windows, if you're curious, like the Win application API, we call the Win API and index. So right here, so they're pretty a lot like index. So we need to know maybe they have certain application and we can refer to, so we can see okay originally what is like using for, okay, what's the purpose, okay, and this time maybe they will be the potentially for the malware, they will use those API to infect your system. Okay, so that's like That's what it means. So you can search it. And let's see, let's check more. The one the essay receive or something like the send. Okay. Or sometimes we see like string write or the file write. So like anything like this. So they're potentially okay. Something like that environment. Because this one is already packed, so maybe we don't that many information. Of course, like if you look at unpacked one, then maybe you can find more details. Okay. So here's like kind of like a basic concept we are doing. I to doing the static analysis. Okay, and here's the reason we need to use different tools and looking for the content. So when we working on your assignment exercise, and before you do that, then you can use it to check. Okay, and for the putty, so this one you need to download the application and then like use it one of it the first or the preview view and then the PV studio. So I just need to make sure of you have all this. And then later we have a TSP or another one if because you already see we have the in our lab exercise. And I'm going to show you one more the PE view. Bill, I try to want to show you if we look at the same strings, and if you remember we talked I mentioned some like headers, right? So we are looking for certain content, maybe magic version remove. Maybe I will show you the P view first, and then we start with our basic one, and then the pet, not this one. Okay. No, because my antivirus application it opened it and I cannot check it. Let's see if another one. Let's see. Okay, this one. Okay. Okay. So right here, when we look at using a P view, and then you will see some we have the color image header, and also we have some like value when I say the actual size, virtual size. and then also the size of the raw data. Okay, and maybe right now my searching is not working. So you can use the calculator because this one is the hex, right? So you can convert the size and compare with the your files. Okay, so if the virtual size and then with the raw data, if they're pretty close, okay, that means that that means they are not really packed, okay, and they may be kind of maybe safe, okay. If you see the file like okay, maybe the virtual size and then the size of the raw data have a huge gap, okay, maybe sometimes it's so 0 or like less, then you know okay, probably they try to pack it, okay. So you never know what they actually using or the library they're calling, okay. So that's why it looks so small or even is 0, okay. And then you know okay, potentially for this application or the file is a malware, of course. And also we have like more stuff, and like maybe we'll look at the address table. So if you check the address table right here, so it contains like all the process. This one you see the low library A, the same. So when you see some malware, they always have some like API they're calling. So they're potentially like maybe the you remember VA environment string. And you see we have different tools and able to find the similar content, like even a studio. So that's why you can use all this to find the content. And you should able to do that. And after you are ready, then we need to do like the step. Okay, so finally, and remember change your network to host only. Okay, this time I try to change to host only. So I will disconnect and try to find the truth you're going to use. And we'll later like let's say if we need to check our maybe the process or program, but of course this part I will leave it for our first day. So I will show you like for details like walk through about dynamic analysis. So this time if you are able to follow, then at least like you install fear VM and then you can see like all those like tools like you are going to use is exists, then we can start to do it. Okay, so if you're not yet ready, so maybe you maybe stay on the like stat analysis and upload it to the virus total or compare it. Okay, and just remember to make it like to isolate and like disconnect to the internet, because like especially if you're doing in a campus, because if you forgot to disconnect your network, so first your VM after you execute, because that's what we're going to do, like I will show you next time. Like let's say if I execute the putty, it would be the files, the lab right here. Okay, but I last for the exercise I asking you like download the normal one, and this time for challenge you also you need to execute this one. Okay, so if you open it because I'm not open it, but for the on Thursday coming lecture, so we're doing the dynamic demo show. Okay, so I'm going to open it. So when you see open it, for the UI, okay, because I think for my VM machine because I cannot take a new screenshot, so I'm not performing this moment. But if I can make a new screenshot, then I will show you. Okay, and after you open this putty, and you will see actually it's the same UI, pretty similar UI, but you will see the screen like it have like turns to blue and fresh, maybe like less than 1 second, just like 0.5 like this. You can see something change, but nothing really like looks weird. And then when you want to connect to a local host to other server, it'll pop out a message. Okay, but in behind, actually they will try to like take certain action. Okay. And those that we call the Win API, they will access to something to your kernel 32. And how can we able to find or like what they actually, of course, we say the Marsha or like TCP view or the netcat, all those like to help us to monitor like dynamically like what they access. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And but for the challenge, this part will leave for you to try to compete, and I will try to add more some like other questions you may answer. I will try to give you sufficient time to do it, so that you have like better idea. So how can you convert like you learn in the lecture, also like have some idea what are we looking for? Okay, so right now kind of like give you a more like clear concept. What are you looking for? So what kind of information when we do the analysis, like the content we have to search, like it can like thread or help us that we need to create the label. Okay, we need to like check it one more time, and that's what you need to do. And also if you have some question, I will put it like related to this exercise also with the lab. And here's like kind of the concept, because I received some emails and some students also still like struggling with the setup or like our previous exercise. And I would like to see, do you have any question, or like if you need help on your lab, then I will give you the time. And also just like go through all the steps. And kind of same idea, because if you remember, so I will give you slightly time, but to finish, when we talk about the advanced static analysis, so you will see like as a base, like kind of similar. So we also try to examine without running it, and mainly look at the file structure and those like code. So we need to like identify those maybe this is like functionalities. Okay. Also, we need to know like maybe some possible behavior, so we are able to like help us to detect some indicate like compromise or some hidden malicious action, so possible. So in this moment, we cannot like really 100% guarantee, but when we able to find something like related to internet, or like maybe including some like anti debugging, or like maybe some enumeration, including like maybe injection. So all this will be like potentially. So all this will be like possible when you see, okay, they work on the maybe some like map views files, like EX, like virtual allocate, like virtual protect to access. So you see, okay, why something pretty familiar when we look like using string or look at the header, or using the P view. Okay, so look at the file size. All these will be the steps like as a static analysis. And when we need to like one thing say when we need to identify the files, so what the file types, and also maybe some what are those with the method, and then check the metadata, and maybe the origin, compile time, and what's the logic in behind. So we maybe like check their code. And also on one part we will try to search for some like hardcode IPs or URL or other indicate. So when the we use the function strings, right? If you remember. So I mentioned about we looking for some HTTPS. Because those HTTPS, the URL, including, okay, if you see some URL maybe just come normal, yes. If you see some URL looks like so weird, or like you are not familiar, not popular, then potentially your application or the malware, they try to connect to their own server. They try to like search, scan your system files, and then they will post it, or sometimes they try to download, like if they need to inject, right? So they maybe try to download the files, like injecting file like bit by bit, and then install on your computer. So that means you have no idea. Those like they would running in the process like dynamic, you have to execute it. After we execute it, then you will see. Okay, so that's why we need to do a dynamic analysis. And maybe we need to check if they're packed. So that's how it looks like. And including the files, like we have the function if you like files like PID, the sign check, like this. So we need to like check. One thing is that we will see in a string, sometimes like when we look at the hex, one thing I say we have got the magic words like portable, executable. So it may be start with they call the MS and MZ, okay, or we call it MZ. So it will be a magic word. So okay, it's a portable and binary execute files. And also we need to find like if they are with the pack. So if you see the low library A, then they're probably they are packet file or encrypted. Is the idea. Or like when we look at their metadata, so including the strings or P view. So we are searching for one thing is about the timestamp. So the timestamp we can find on the P view. So let me open the PE view one more time. Let me go to download. And all the details. So but in this time you see the timestamp. This one's empty. But if you see the like the timestamp, so when they created, or if you remember, one of the attack is like it's a bomb. So they set a time. So maybe you can check. So what's the timestamp when we try to execute, and also session. So that's why we looking for. And also in the session data, like just right signature, virtual size, and then file header. So you see one of the timestamp. So maybe when it created, so right here timestamp maybe like will be 2009. So we need to think about, okay, it potentially like why. Suppose the value should be new. If they connect with pretty old, then maybe potentially they're not safe. And the signature was that the PE. And also we have the, let's go back out to our summary. So some data, you see the hex to the value. So we need to like searching maybe where they connect to the HTTP, just like this. And that's what we need to do. And then maybe the compiler, some like embedded information, or sometimes the authors, they will leave some like trace like in the metadata. So it helps to examine. Okay, so the origins, that's we are looking for. And the values right here. So all the contents, let's say like portable strings. So maybe they will connect with the when we use the string, so we are searching like maybe they connect shell 32 WS. So all these keywords that we are expecting to find. Okay. And then one more part, like we have the IDAPO, like one example. So we try to convert those machine code like to the assembly language. So we know the malware analysis. So this part will be what we try to learn from our previous lab. So we need to know from the assembly. So they move from the stack. So if on the memory. So maybe those like in the low level like assembly functionalities. So we'll know the malware. So they how to interact with the system. So they tell the operations on the files, or they do the network calls. So that's what we try to check. Okay. And for the decompiling, so we're more, so we will check it like maybe in a higher level, look at the pseudocodes, or like for the C, so it's more easier. So the compiler, so we are able to recover in higher level logics of the program. So we will check for certain suspicious or some behavior. So mainly it's like, okay, do they access some unnecessary, or they try to use those some Windows API to certain action, like why they always like to access some like virtual memory allocation or the file to the file write or something like this, and or access to the memory. So all this will be like potentially have a base. So that's what we need to check. Okay. And here will be for today's lab, and I try to like recap what we did before, and here are some key information, like because for the step when you follow the steps, or you may be really kind of lost, have no idea like what you're looking for. Then that's today's like purpose. And before we move on to the advanced like search, okay, look at those like assignment language, and will be like this. And on Thursday, then I try to make sure my copy is safe. Then I will show you how can like we have to execute the files, and then we will using maybe some process monitor or other application to check, okay, what kind of process it pops up after we execute it. Okay, including the Wireshark or like for the internet access. Okay, that's what you need to do, and try to make sure and check the tools we are going to use, and like this sample as over here. So say like the file, so the die or like the force also is another application we can use, and we can pass it. So this one also is pretty similar to string, so it will output the content. Also you can output this one, you can declare and then maybe pass the parameter. Okay, if they match for certain size, like maybe a more than 8 bytes, then we're searching for those keywords, or like below them we're not using it. So here's one of the pretty similar application. So then we don't have to download by yourself, or sometimes we can like check your hash right here. I don't know how many of you already create. So I need to make sure all of you already installed this the fair VM, and make sure all of you have the tools like available, then you can easily to follow. Okay, so right now I will stop the lecture right here. If you have any question, and please let me know, or if you want to like have something want me to help you to solve, or any question, please let me know. And Pierre, if you're asking, let's say if you're installing the fair VM, and then you experience the system is rebooting, and also it's trying to you see sometimes if you see the screen like fail to log in, sometimes it create have another account, so you just need to like choose the one from the side, like switch the account and go back to the one you use the pin. Of course, we like debugging or like troubleshooting is one of the process we're doing. Maybe if you search online, maybe some people give you example they're working on the Windows 10, and maybe this time we try to install on the Windows 11. So here's a process we need to do troubleshooting. Or because like let's say if you're using Windows, maybe you're fine like running on the VM station workstation. But if let's say right now we change the Windows Silicon the M series CPU, then maybe the architecture is different, and even the VM fusion looks not the same. So you experience all this problem. Okay, so it's one of the process like we try to especially for the male analysis. So you will see kind of like pretty heavy rely on the lab, like really practically will do something. Okay, so I understood like most of the time we spend on is really fix the problem, troubleshooting, looking for what is the issue. But please let me know if you have some issue and if you need more time to like set the environment. If you question like this, maybe I have left memory, I couldn't open my PowerShell, but also I need to solve it. Okay, so I'm totally 100% understood. Okay, so but just like, let me know what's your difficulty, and if you have some question, you can leave it in the lab, and I would like to give you some time to help you to solve it. Okay, I would like to see your questions. Or like maybe you're asking the new assignment, the PuTTY. So you also need to download the original file from the official website. So I would like to let you to check. Okay, so here, if no other question, then I will like to show you one thing. Like let's say for we're using the PE Studio right here. So PE Studio, and I will open the file and I will check the original PuTTY. Okay, so this is what we have and download. And compared with the our lab exercise, the original PuTTY is really huge. It's a complete application. Okay, so the file is really way bigger than what you imagine it. Okay, so because those like for the lab pretty smaller. And when we try to like pass to wireless total, maybe because right now I'm not connected to internet, it didn't have anything. So maybe we try to check their file headers and then what the linked files and then their imports. Okay, maybe they're nothing, maybe pretty fine. It looks like it connects to the DLL user 32. Sometimes you see it connect to the kernel 32. It maybe looks fine, right? Okay. Or if we try to, it's pretty big, so it's still loading. But so far will be like all the size, all the session it show comes out, it should be looks normal. Okay. But when you compare with the one of injector one, you should like able to observe certain things like they are not matched. Okay, or looks weird. And that's what you need to do is for your assignment, and they tell you how to evaluate. So the first part. So at least like you need to able to do the static one, and then for the next on Thursday. So we will I will go through like what we did like as a basic the dynamic analysis. So what kind of like key information you need to pay attention, and after you create the isolated environment, then we're going to execute run it. Okay, so after process it, also I need to delete the snapshot and restore it back. So this is what I'm going to do in next week, and I would like to see if you have any other question. Student, you are in the Zoom. You have no question, then should make sure. Okay, if you have no other question, let me see. Those lab. I will try to post before you submit the deadline. Maybe I will try to post. I can post it within this week. But once you submit it and follow the step, then you're all good. So you don't have to worry. But for this one, for the challenging, for the PuTTY, so I will be because I'm not showing you, so I would like to see like how much you're familiar or what kind of information you can observe. So actually, lots of this information they are open to public. Okay, so in case some question, if you're able, even I have the answer if I have some extra question from the MD5. If you I have not yet posted. Let me go to the lab. I have some issue, but if I cannot open it, okay. I have some extra question, also the question that they ask, and they have some answer. So if you can follow the steps, and you may check. Of course, I'm not recommend you like try to search by your own first. Okay, and then let's see if you are able to answer it. And for the grades, I will try to post it. That means actually it's just a previous step. Okay, so once you submit it on time, and or like if you let me know those students say you are late, we are try to wait. And if you're no other issue, so far the grade won't be bad. Like once you submit on time, you're all good. And I see you follow the steps, then you're all good. So you don't have to worry those grades. Okay, but only the new one. So I put the grades pretty high, and I will see like do you able to like take, because a pretty big pretty lots of steps, like looking for the static one and the analysis. So it kind of like somewhat it's like what we did as a um basic static and dynamic analysis. Okay, and before we move on to the next one is more advanced level. So what we learn, like looking those at assembly. Okay, so I wish I can answer your question. So any question, anything else? If no, then I will stop the sharing right here in this moment. Okay, by the respond, then okay, I think student leaving, so I'll stop right here.